Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are still working on Julius Caesar and we are almost done with Act 3, Scene 2, but we need to hear a little smidge more from Mark Antony. So what is happening in this scene, this is Caesar's funeral, where Brutus spoke first and said Caesar had to die because he was overly ambitious, and then Mark Antony stood up and was like, but really, was he? And look at all these great things that he did for you. And then he mentioned at one point that he had Caesar's will, and the people were like, let's hear about that. And he's like, okay, but first come here and take a look at Caesar's body. And he's like, see, this is where Cascus stabbed him, and this is where Cassius stabbed him, and this is where Brutus stabbed him, and then he bled out because his heart was broken because his best friend just stabbed him. And at the end of yesterday's monologue, all of the people that are gathered around the body of Caesar start like yelling. They're like, revenge and fire and burn and kill, and they're all riled up and they want to kill the conspirators for having done this to Caesar. And Mark Antony says, good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not, that made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is, but, as you know me all, a plain, blunt man that loved my friend, and that they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony, would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny. So once again, he's just trying to cover his own butt, because part of him being allowed to speak at Caesar's funeral was he promised Brutus that he wouldn't say anything negative about the conspirators. So once again, he's saying, I'm not saying anything bad about Brutus. Like, Brutus is wise, Brutus is honorable, but of course that honor has been called into question for like the last 4 days of Shakesyear monologues. So he's like, I'm a simple man that love my friend. I'm just giving you the facts. I'm not saying anything bad about anybody. I'm just giving you the facts. But if I was as skilled in talking to the public as Brutus was, like, y'all might be, motivated to get some revenge right about now. But I'm not saying that. But if I was Brutus and Brutus was in this situation, y'all might be feeling that way. Which of course the people are feeling that way. I mean, they've done a complete 180 in their opinions of things now, and they're screaming bloody murder, and they want to get to the bottom of this, and they want to get revenge for Caesar's death. And Mark Antony is like, wait, before you run off and do anything crazy, don't you want to hear the will that I found the other day? And they're like, oh, wait, yeah, let's hear the will. Tell us the will. And he's like, Caesar made all of you his benefactors. He left everybody 75 drachmas, and all of his lands and parks and orchards and all this sort of stuff is going to become free public land for all of you to enjoy. That's the man that the conspirators just killed. And then, of course, this riles the people up even more. They're like, let's go get him. And they all leave, and Mark Antony gets to go, well, that's that. And then Octavius Caesar's servant, who had come in before, and Mark Antony said, just wait and see how the people behave at the funeral before we report back to Octavius Caesar to tell him whether or not it's safe to arrive. So the servant comes back in, and Mark Antony's like, so? And the servant's like, Octavius Caesar is already here, and he and Lepidus are at Caesar's house. And Antony's like, okay, I'll go over there and I'll meet up with them, because we've got some planning to do. And that's the end of Act 3, Scene 2. So it's a beautiful scene, and I would recommend, if you ever have the opportunity, like, watch all 4 of these monologues in a row and to get the flow of things, because it's these 5, including Brutus's, because it's a beautiful, beautiful scene of like crowd mob mentality and how malleable the masses can be and all that sort of thing. And these 2 great orators, I mean, Mark Antony says he's not a great orator, but these speeches that he has are gorgeous. But have these 2 great orators speak their sides of what's going on, and then you, the audience, get to sort of decide which side you want to be on in this whole thing, and that sets up the second half of the play, which we get to get into as of tomorrow. So I will see you then for that. Mwah.